Experience Impact Wrestling like never before with instant access to all of your favorite episodes of Impact, Explosion, Greatest Matches, Legend, content from promotions around the world, plus live monthly exclusive premium specials and so much more.
This is spectacular! What a match!
The Impact Wrestling app has you covered with Impact Plus, featuring thousands of hours of on-demand action.
This has escalated quickly!
Stream groundbreaking originals.
We are all artists.
Get more exclusive content and experience a new and improved accessibility control and freedom like never before.
This night's just getting started!
Watch free without a subscription and stream Impact Plus anytime on your favorite device. Download the Impact Wrestling app now and experience Impact like never before.
Very happy to welcome Rachael Ellering. Rachael, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Awesome. So I kind of wanted to start at the beginning with you. I know you've been in the business now since about 2015. If Wikipedia hasn't let me down.
Which sometimes it can.
It's a lot of times it can. Absolutely. What has been, I guess besides the family, what has been your biggest influence in getting into professional wrestling?
Yeah, actually, contrary to popular belief, Wikipedia should maybe add this in. I did not get into wrestling because of my family. My dad didn't let us watch wrestling growing up. We didn't, we weren't at shows all the time. We didn't grow up around it or anything. And so I really didn't discover wrestling and fall in love with it until I was about 16. And I just kind of fell down a YouTube rabbit hole like we all do at times. And, ended up realizing, wow, this is everything I love. It's everything I'm good at. And it's all thrown together in this crazy, wild, beautiful package. And I was hooked, and I just would stay up as late as I could, learning about as much of it as I can and watching as many different matches, different styles. And so I really realized, hey, I could do this and be really good at it when I saw Beth Phoenix. And then when I saw Trish and Lita's main event of Raw. And so those things kind of combined together to make me realize, hey, I don't have to look like Trish to do this. Beth is strong and beautiful and an athlete and incredible. And I could kind of do that bit of it, and then as you get older, you realize, hey, I'll find my own little crevice here and kind of find my own way. And so that's kind of how things started for me.
So you end up training with Lance Storm, but do you have to, you're second generation. So is it, as they say, a little more difficult for you going in? Are there expectations, kind of given with the last name that you have to kind of fight and go, or do you just, hey, I'm going for it?
Yeah, I've never felt any expectations or any pressure from being generational. I think that might stem from my dad not wanting me to do this. And so I wasn't sitting there discussing all this wrestling stuff with him. I very quickly just realized I want this to be my own journey and I want to forge my own path. And, I want people to know me as Rachael before they know me as Paul's daughter. And so still to this day, I will avoid saying my last name or mentioning that on any, in any situation. This past weekend at homecoming being the exception, that was really the first time I'd ever just kind of embraced it and ran with it. And that was a perfect timing thing, and the perfect person to do anything Road Warrior related was Tommy, because I know how much he loves them and how much he loves wrestling. And so that was like the perfect case for that. But I didn't feel any pressure, and Lance never mentioned it. We never had any conversations really about that. He just treated me like everybody else in my class. And, I was the only girl with 15 guys training. And so I have always been an athlete. I am uber competitive, almost to a fault. With little things, I'm competitive. And so really just as an athlete, I just wanted to go and succeed and work as hard as I could, learn as much as I could, and then, progress as much as I could in the 3-month time that you have there. with him, and it worked out perfectly. You know, I took my first bump there with Lance, and then 3 months later, I had my first match. And ever since then, you know, I've been a pro wrestler. And so it was a very, you know, beautiful short journey there that got me kind of thrown right into it.
Now, was Dad, you'd said maybe didn't really want you to follow in the footsteps, but what was his reaction?
Yeah, you know, we didn't talk much when I was up there training. I'm a very independent person as well. My mom is my absolute best friend. And so I would talk to her every day and kind of, oh, we did this drill, we did this, and my body hurts. So she would be the one that would get, you know, the phone calls every day, and I'd tell her every detail and, you know, any ideas I had and all that kind of stuff. And so I've always kind of gone to my mom with any of that. You know, like I said, he didn't really want me to be a wrestler, but thankfully, you know, a little later in my career, he kind of came around and realized that, well, obviously she's doing this no matter what. And, you know, she loves it. It makes her very happy. And so he kind of came on board then.
Now, one other, we've got the Olympics going on, and I know it's not an Olympic sport right now. Weightlifting is, but your family and you, a history of powerlifting. Talking about being uber competitive. When was the last time that you did actually competitive powerlifting?
Oh gosh, probably 2015.
Okay.
Yeah. I stopped competing in powerlifting right before I started training for wrestling, just because they just weren't conducive to each other, in my opinion. And so I still lift weights 6 days a week and such, just not for the purpose of maxing out and getting, you know, increasingly stronger like that. But what's very cool is Jordan Grace, my tag partner, she competes in powerlifting. She just had a meet last weekend, actually, that I road tripped and got to go watch her, and she was amazing. And so it's been so fun to kind of remember why I loved powerlifting so much, and just fun little conversations only lifters can have with each other, right? And so it's great that we get to kind of share that and talk about that stuff together. And, you know, we connect with each other in so many different ways, and powerlifting is one of them. But yeah, both my parents competed in powerlifting, my mom and my dad. They had a gym when I was growing up, so I was kind of raised around weightlifting. And then when I was in college, I think maybe my sophomore year of college, I thought, well, let me try it. Why not? And then I ended up loving it. And so, you know, I competed for about 2 years. I won a bronze medal for Team USA. And that was one of the proudest moments of my life still to this day. And then I just jumped right into wrestling. And, you know, when I try something, I kind of go all in with it. And so I haven't looked back since.
That's fantastic. Talk to me about how it's awesome to me that you're in Impact Wrestling. I love it. And the fact that you're teaming up with Jordan Grace, just an awesome combination. But Impact Wrestling has this awesome thing called the Impact Plus app, which we love. Our show, as you know, or may not know, even though I'm from Wisconsin, I represent Wrestling Travel out of Manchester, England. So we love being able to watch Impact Wrestling whenever we can on the app. What is your favorite, if you had to pick? You have like a top 3 or 4, 5 or 10, something to go to on the Impact Plus app that you love to watch, maybe when you've got some downtime?
Yeah, I like watching any wrestling, right? I'm a fan first and foremost. So I totally agree with you that it's such a beneficial, great thing to have. A perfect example was this past weekend with Homecoming. You know, my mom didn't watch it live. She watched it the next morning, right? And she could do that because of Impact Plus. And she got to see me have like the most fun I've had in a ring in ages, teaming with Dreamer. I love going back and watching like the one night onlys. So that's very fun. Any time I just turn it on and there's something old playing, I'll just kind of watch it for a bit, unless I'm specifically seeking out, you know, Motor City Machine Guns, or, you know, anything very specific, Kong and Gale, right? And so I always enjoy watching those kind of things.
I gotta say, excuse me, Impact Wrestling back in the early 2000s, you know, to the 2000, I don't have my dates right, but the women's wrestling on Impact was phenomenal. they were the ones that actually took it from maybe this diva type pillow fights and stuff into athletic competition. So what does it mean to be part of that roster right now?
Yeah, Justin, that is 100% truth. Everything you just said, they were so far ahead of the curve with wrestling. They were wrestlers. And kind of like I mentioned earlier, you know, seeing Beth, I realized, oh, I could do this, right? Because she doesn't look like someone who's going to be in pillow fights and, you know, those types of matches, which obviously didn't really connect with someone like myself. And so, yeah, seeing the knockouts, you realize, wow, they were doing this not just like a year before everyone, years, like many years before anyone else was doing that. And, you know, still to this day, I think we have the best locker room, the best division of girls anywhere in the world. I feel confident in putting us up against anybody. And that was truly one of the reasons I decided to come to Impact full time, was just their history of how, you know, they treated the knockouts and gave them, they would just go out and kill it, girls. Go have a great match, right? No, you know, no holds barred, just go do the damn thing. And of course they would go out there and actually kill it, right? And I mean, doing crazy stuff that women weren't seen doing, right? And so I cherish being able to now be a part of the current crop of knockouts, because I have so much respect for all the previous knockouts. And, you know, some of them I've got to be in, or, you know, rings with before and share special moments in my career and my life with. And so to now be considered, you know, now I'm an actual knockout. I had 2 matches in Impact, you know, maybe 3 years ago, but I was just an extra, right? So it's a totally different experience than when you're, you know, you're here, you're part of the family, and they welcomed me with open arms, you know. And then I get to see people like Gail, you know, at every tapings and talk with her, and just even not just about, hey, you know, I'm thinking of doing this, this, or this, but every now and then it's very fun to just ask her, hey, Gail, you know, talk to me about you and Kong. Like, what's the craziest memory you have off the top of your head, right? Just little things like that, because that's so special for us, right? She's there as a resource, and you know, she was doing this stuff years before everybody else was.
Yeah, they were killing it. I remember turning the TV on and going, dare I say this as a, and I do, but the girls were killing it. I loved watching the girls matches on Impact, and the storylines and everything they were doing, the athleticness, which is fantastic. Now I mentioned that we are from the United Kingdom. Have you had a chance to get overseas in your young career and wrestle in front of a crowd, let's say in the United Kingdom?
I have never been to the UK before. It makes me sad.
Yeah, it makes me sad too. Yeah.
I mean, what a spectacular group of fans over there. You know, independent shows and such, but I've had a lot of really great interactions with Impact fans that are based over there, just, you know, online and such. And so I am dying, Justin, to get over there and experience that in person for myself. So I'm crossing my fingers so hard it hurts that we get back over there as quickly as we can. And, you know, we get to finally, you know, see everybody over there perform for them. And yeah, I'm sad that in my 5-year career, I haven't been over there yet, but I think it's long overdue. Hopefully it'll be here sooner than later.
Yes, and the fans over in the United Kingdom are fantastic, as that are they in Australia. And for somebody who's been around a lot longer than most, I'm excited for you to actually get over and experience all that. So, final question, because I want to be very respectful of your time, and I have a big lead up, but probably a bad final question. Like, what you're tagging right now with Jordan? But what is, you know, there's so many options that you can go in Impact Wrestling and the way wrestling is going. How long do you see yourself as a tag team? How long do you see not a tag team specifically, try to say that really fast, specifically with Jordan, but how long do you see yourself hanging out in the tag teams or going for like a singles title, or are you just open to whatever happens in the future?
Yeah, I'm very much like I said, you know, jump all in on something. And so right now I'm all in on being a team with Jordan. I love our team. I think that we're very unique in a lot of ways. I adore her as a person and a performer, but it's, it's a treat to team with her and get to share all of these moments with her. My first match in Impact, we won Knockouts Tag Team Championships, right? One of the best moments of my entire career. And I'll always be able to look back and share that with her. And so I love what I'm doing right now. I know in the future, I'll have singles runs and stuff there. I've said it before, and I truly do believe this and want this, but I want to be one of the best knockouts that's ever been in Impact. And so to do that, I will definitely, have singles runs and hopefully get to be Knockouts champion one day and Knockouts tag team champion again, as many times as possible. And, headline pay-per-views, headline specials that are an Impact Plus, be the girl, be the knockout to kind of, be at the head of the division. And so I'm confident that over time, my work, in the ring, promo wise, whatever it might be, will get me to that destination. But for now, I'm completely loving what I'm doing and, just being embraced by the Impact fans. These last tapings were our first ones with fans. And so just getting to experience them for the first time and now share these memories and these moments with them. I'm just cherishing that, and so whatever comes next, I'm ready for. But man, I just could not be happier with where I am and what I'm doing.
You're right. I'm Mike White. Live in the now, enjoy, embrace what we got now, because it was just a few short months ago that we didn't have fans. So
yeah.
So that's awesome. That's got to be quite a great feeling. I know
no better feeling, truly.
Yeah. So it's fantastic. So Rachael Ellering, we here at Wrestling Travel want to say thank you for joining us, and we wish you the best of luck. We've been supporting you, since I want to say day one, but we don't exactly know when day one was. We'll look it up on Wikipedia, as we said. But thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you all the best in your future. And we'll get you over in the UK as soon as we can.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. When I'm there, I'll cry tears of joy.
You call us when you're there. We'll make sure that the guys and girls in the office over there will show you the best fish and chips and etc. while you're over there.
Oh, that sounds so wonderful. Thank you so much for that.
I thank you.